Far beyond the edges of the Milky Way, the powerful galactic empire had risen to dominate countless star systems. Its advanced ships traversed the cosmic void, seeking new worlds to conquer and civilizations to subjugate. Rumors of the empire's ruthless expansion spread like wildfire, striking fear into the hearts of those who valued freedom. On the vibrant blue planet called Earth, life flourished under a younger sun. Humans, a tenacious and inventive species, had emerged from their cradle to explore the mysteries of their celestial neighborhood. Telescopes and probes brought back wondrous images and data, hinting at the infinite possibilities that awaited them in the stars. Yet in the midst of this era of discovery, an ominous message crackled across the vastness of space. The Galactic Empire had turned its hungry eyes towards the Milky Way, seeing it as a ripe prize to be plucked. Encoded transmissions spoke of a mighty armada assembling, ready to pierce the veil of Earth's blissful isolation. In the gleaming halls of power across Earth's myriad nations, leaders gathered to confront an unprecedented threat. They pored over the fragmentary intelligence, their faces ashen with the realization of what lay ahead. No petty squabbles or ancient grudges could stand in the way of survival. Unity was forged in the fires of necessity. As one, the people of Earth worked to prepare for the coming storm. The greatest scientific minds were assembled, tasked with unlocking the secrets that could give humanity a fighting chance. In hidden bases and research centers, breakthroughs were made in propulsion, energy weapons, and defensive systems. Factories churned day and night, equipping the burgeoning Earth defense fleet. Volunteers from every walk of life stepped forward to crew the newly minted starships. Farmers, teachers, engineers, and artists. They all donned uniforms and trained relentlessly, driven by a fierce determination to protect their home. The best and brightest became the vanguard of Earth's resistance, ready to face whatever horrors the Galactic Empire unleashed. As the fateful day drew near, an eerie calm settled over the blue planet. Families huddled together, whispering prayers and words of comfort. In the streets, impromptu celebrations erupted, a defiant gesture in the face of annihilation. Music and laughter mingled with tears, a bittersweet symphony of a world on the brink. High above, the Earth Defense Fleet assumed formation, a glittering array of vessels poised to meet the enemy head-on. Sleek fighters darted between bulky destroyers and nimble frigates, a patchwork armada united by a common cause. On the bridge of the flagship, the fleet commander gazed out at the stars, her eyes hard with resolve. A klaxon pierced the air, echoing through the fleet. Long-range sensors had detected the telltale signatures of the Galactic Empire's armada, a swarm of malevolent ships dropping out of hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. The Empire had come, as foretold, to crush the upstart humans and claim their world. But Earth would not go quietly into the night. As the enemy closed in, the defense fleet powered up their weapons and steeled themselves for the fight of their lives. In that moment, every man, woman, and child on the planet held their breath, knowing that the future of humanity itself hung in the balance. The battle was about to begin, and Earth would declare to the galaxy that this tiny blue world was not for the taking. The Galactic Empire, for all its might, would learn the true meaning of defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. The people of Earth would stand together, united as never before, ready to defend their home until the very last. It was a moment that would echo through the ages, a turning point in the history of the cosmos. Earth, once a backwater, was about to become the front line in a war for survival. And in the hearts of every human, a flame of hope burned brightly, a beacon against the darkness that sought to consume them all. The void of space erupted in a cascade of fire and fury as the two opposing fleets clashed. The Galactic Empire's warships, sleek and predatory, unleashed a storm of laser fire and missiles upon the Earth Defense Fleet. The humans responded in kind, their weapons systems primed and ready. Fighters danced a deadly ballet, weaving through the chaos of battle. Human pilots, their faces etched with determination, pushed their craft to the limit. They dodged and rolled, using their smaller size and agility to outmaneuver the Empire's ships. Explosions bloomed like fiery flowers as skirmish lines ebbed and flowed. On the bridge of the human flagship, the fleet commander barked orders, her voice cutting through the cacophony. Status reports flooded in from across the battle space, painting a picture of the unfolding conflict. The Earth fleet was holding its own, but the Empire's superior numbers and technology were taking their toll. Yet even in the face of overwhelming odds, the humans refused to yield. They fought with a ferocity born of desperation, knowing that retreat was not an option. Every ship, every crew member, was a bulwark against the tide of annihilation that threatened to engulf their world. As the battle raged, a group of human scientists raced against time in a secret laboratory on Earth. They had been working tirelessly on a project that could turn the tide of war, a weapon unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. With sweat beading their brows and fingers flying across keyboards, they made the final adjustments. Back in space, the Earth defense fleet was being pushed to its limits. Ships buckled under the relentless onslaught, their hulls breached and leaking atmosphere. The Empire's warships pressed their advantage, moving in for the kill. It seemed that all hope was lost. But in that darkest hour, a signal pulsed from Earth to the flagship. The scientists had done it. The weapon was ready. The fleet commander hesitated for only a moment before giving the order. It was a gamble, but one they had to take. A lone human ship, small and unassuming, detached from the fleet and accelerated towards the heart of the Empire's armada. The enemy, sensing an easy target, trained their weapons on the approaching vessel. But as they fired, the ship vanished in a blinding flash of light. The weapon had been activated, a device that tore at the very fabric of space and time. A shimmering vortex appeared where the ship had been, a swirling maelstrom of energy that grew with each passing second. The Empire's ships, caught in its inexorable pull, were dragged towards the anomaly. Panic spread through the enemy ranks as they realized the terrible power they faced. Ships struggled to escape the vortex's grasp, but it was too late. One by one, the mighty warships of the Galactic Empire were consumed, vanishing into the howling abyss. The Earth defense fleet watched in stunned silence as their foe was swept away. The vortex, having claimed its prey, collapsed in on itself, leaving only an eerie stillness in its wake. The humans had done the impossible. They had broken the back of the Empire's armada. Cheers erupted across the human fleet as the realization of their victory sank in. They had paid a heavy price in blood and metal, but Earth was safe, at least for now. The Galactic Empire, its forces decimated, would think twice before underestimating the tenacity of humanity again. On Earth, news of the triumph spread like wildfire. Crowds poured into the streets, celebrations breaking out in every city and town. Humanity had stood as one against the greatest threat they had ever faced, and they had emerged victorious. But even as they savored their hard-won peace, the leaders of Earth knew that this was only the beginning. The Galactic Empire, though beaten back, would not forget this humiliation. They would return, seeking vengeance and dominion. Earth had earned its place among the stars, but the price of freedom would be eternal vigilance. The people of the Blue Planet stood ready, united in their resolve to safeguard their home and their future. They had declared to the galaxy that Earth would not be conquered, and they would fight to the last to keep that promise. The story continues with the epic space battle between the Earth Defense Fleet and a Galactic Empire's armada. The odds are stacked against Earth, but through ingenuity, bravery, and a secret weapon, they managed to defeat the Empire in a stunning upset. The simple language paints vivid pictures of the action and emotion, from the deadly bowlet of the fighter pilots to the howling abyss of the space vortex weapon. The shifting perspective, from the fleet commander to the scientists to the Empire's ranks, adds depth. The victory comes at a cost, but Earth emerges stronger and more united. Yet there are hints that the Empire will return for revenge, setting the stage for future installments. The theme of humanity's resilience against overwhelming odds shines through. In the aftermath of their stunning victory against the Galactic Empire, the people of Earth found themselves at a crossroads. They had proven their mettle in the crucible of war, but the challenges that lay ahead were no less daunting. The Empire, though weakened, still posed a formidable threat, and Earth needed to prepare for the long struggle to come. Governments worldwide convened an emergency summit to chart a course for the future. Leaders from every nation gathered to discuss the monumental task of rebuilding and fortifying their world. The scars of battle were still fresh, but the spirit of unity that had carried them through their darkest hour remained unbroken. In the halls of power, debates raged over the best path forward. Some argued for a focus on bolstering Earth's defenses, pouring resources into the development of new weapons and technologies. Others called for a more proactive approach, advocating for the establishment of a permanent space fleet to take the fight to the Empire. Amidst the discussions, a voice of reason emerged. A young diplomat, her eyes shining with the wisdom of her ancestors, spoke of the need for balance. She argued that true strength lay not only in military might, but in the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit. To survive the trials ahead, Earth would need to invest in its people, fostering a culture of innovation and cooperation. Her words struck a chord, and a consensus began to form. The nations of Earth pledged to work together, pooling their resources and expertise to build a brighter future. Scientists and engineers from across the globe united in a common cause, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. In the years that followed, Earth underwent a transformation. Cities were rebuilt, their skylines now adorned with gleaming towers that harnessed the power of the sun and the stars. Vast agricultural complexes rose from the ashes of war, ensuring a steady supply of food for the growing population. Education became a top priority, with schools and universities nurturing the next generation of leaders and pioneers. The Earth Defense Fleet, once a patchwork of hastily assembled ships, evolved into a sleek and formidable force. New vessels, designed with the hard-won lessons of battle in mind, rolled off production lines and took to the stars. The bravest and brightest of humanity stepped forward to crew these ships, ready to defend their home against any threat. But Earth's leaders knew that military strength alone would not be enough. They reached out to the stars, seeking allies among the many worlds that had suffered under the Empire's yoke. Diplomats ventured forth, forging treaties and alliances with civilizations that shared their desire for freedom and self-determination. As Earth's influence grew, so too did the rumblings of discontent within the Galactic Empire. The defeat at the hands of the humans had dealt a blow to the Empire's aura of invincibility, and cracks began to appear in its foundation. Whispers of rebellion spread like wildfire, as oppressed peoples drew inspiration from Earth's example. The Empire, sensing the growing threat, began to mobilize its forces once more. But this time, Earth was ready. When the first Imperial ships appeared on the fringes of the solar system, they were met not by a ragtag fleet, but by a united front of human and allied vessels. The ensuing battle was fierce, but the tide had turned. The Empire's ships, once an unstoppable juggernaut, found themselves outmatched by the ingenuity and determination of Earth's defenders. The human fleet fought with a precision and coordination that spoke of the hard-won lessons of the past. As the last Imperial ship flowed into the void, a cheer went up from the Earth Defense Fleet. They had won the day, but the war was far from over. Earth knew that the Empire would not rest until it had exacted its revenge, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. On the blue planet, the people of Earth celebrated their victory, but they did so with a solemn resolve. They had learned the price of freedom, and they would never again take it for granted. They had forged a new path for themselves, one that would lead them to the stars and beyond. Earth had become more than just a world. It had become a beacon of hope, a shining example of what could be achieved when people stood together against the darkness. And as the people of Earth looked to the future, they knew that no matter what trials lay ahead, they would face them as one, united in their determination to protect their home and all that they held dear. The story continues with Earth at a crossroads after their victory. The challenges of rebuilding and preparing for future threats are explored. Through unity, innovation, and diplomacy, Earth transforms itself and forges alliances with other worlds oppressed by the Empire. When the Empire strikes again, Earth is ready. The human fleet, now advanced and united with allies, defeats the Imperial ships. But the war is not over. Earth resolves to stand firm, a beacon of hope and a defender of freedom. The simple language conveys complex ideas of post-war rebuilding, technological advancement, diplomacy, and the ongoing struggle against tyranny. The shifting focus, from world leaders to everyday people to allied civilizations, gives a sense of the scale of events. Throughout, the themes of unity, resilience, and the power of hope shine through. Earth's transformation and resolve set the stage for the continuing saga of the fight against the Empire. Years turned into decades as Earth and its allies waged a relentless war against the Galactic Empire. The conflict spread like wildfire across the stars, engulfing countless worlds in its flames. The Empire, once an unstoppable force, found itself beset on all sides by a growing coalition of free peoples. At the forefront of this struggle stood the Earth Defense Fleet, now a legend in its own right. The men and women who crewed its ships were the best of the best, battle-hardened veterans who had faced the Empire's wrath time and time again. They fought with a courage and determination that inspired all who witnessed their deeds. On the bridge of the flagship, a new commander had risen through the ranks. Born in the aftermath of Earth's first great victory, she had grown up in a world shaped by the ongoing war. Her tactical brilliance and unwavering resolve had earned her the respect and admiration of her crew, and she led them with a steady hand. As the fleet pushed deeper into enemy territory, they encountered new and terrifying weapons wielded by the desperate Empire. Planets were scorched by the heat of artificial suns, entire star systems engulfed in the fury of supernova bombs. The scale of destruction was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Yet even in the face of such horrors, the Earth Defense Fleet pressed on. They adapted their tactics, developing new technologies to counter the Empire's devastating arsenal. They forged alliances with species that had once been bitter enemies, united in their common cause against tyranny. Back on Earth, life had been transformed by the decades of war. The planet had become a hub of innovation and industry, its cities now sprawling metropolises that reached towards the heavens. The people had learned to live with the constant threat of invasion, finding strength in their unity and resilience. In the halls of power, a new generation of leaders had emerged, born and raised in the shadow of the conflict. They grappled with the challenges of governing a world at war, balancing the needs of their people with the demands of the ongoing struggle. Difficult decisions had to be made, but they faced them with the same resolve that had carried Earth through its darkest hours. As the war dragged on, the toll on both sides grew ever higher. The Empire, its resources stretched to the breaking point, began to crumble from within. Rebel factions, emboldened by the success of Earth and its allies, rose up to overthrow their oppressors. The once mighty Galactic Empire found itself fighting a war on two fronts, a war it could not hope to win. In a final desperate gambit, the Empire gathered the remnants of its forces for a last stand. They sought to strike at the heart of Earth itself, hoping to crush the human spirit once and for all. The Earth Defense Fleet, alerted to the impending attack, marshaled every ship and every ally to meet this ultimate threat. The battle that followed was the stuff of legends. The skies above Earth blazed with the fire of 1,000 suns as the two fleets clashed in a titanic struggle. Ships on both sides were reduced to molten slag, their crews fighting to the bitter end. The Empire's warriors, once feared across the galaxy, found themselves outmatched by the skill and determination of Earth's defenders. In the end, it was the Earth Defense Fleet that emerged victorious. The Empire's ships, broken and battered, fled into the void, never to return. The people of Earth, watching from the surface below, erupted in joyous celebration. The long war was finally over, and they had emerged triumphant. But even as they savored their hard-won peace, the leaders of Earth knew that their work was not yet done. The galaxy had been forever changed by the conflict, and it would fall to them to shape its future. They would need to be the guiding light in the darkness, the beacon of hope for all those who had suffered under the Empire's rule. As the Earth Defense Fleet returned home, their ships bearing the scars of countless battles, they were greeted as heroes. The people of Earth, united as never before, looked to the stars with a newfound sense of purpose. They had fought the greatest war in the history of the galaxy, and they had won. Now they would build a new future, one where every species could live in freedom and peace. The war spans decades as Earth and its growing alliance battle the Empire across the galaxy. Both sides unleash terrifying new weapons, and the scale of destruction is unprecedented. On Earth, life is transformed by the war effort. Cities become innovation hubs. People live with constant threat but find unity, and a new generation of leaders emerges. The Empire begins to crumble from rebel uprisings and overextension. In a final battle above Earth itself, the Earth Defense Fleet triumphs against the Empire's last stand. The galaxy is forever changed. As the victorious fleet returns, Earth looks to the stars, determined to shape a future of freedom for all. The story conveys the epic scope and cost of the prolonged war, the evolution of Earth's society and leadership, and the Empire's desperation and downfall. Vivid descriptions of far-future weapons and planetary-scale destruction paint a grim picture. Yet throughout, Earth's unyielding spirit, skill, and united resolve shine through. The ending reinforces the themes of sacrifice, unity, and hope, with Earth poised to lead the way forward. In the years that followed the end of the Great War, Earth found itself at the center of a new era. The planet had emerged from the conflict as a beacon of hope and strength, a shining example of what could be achieved through unity and determination. The people of Earth, once divided by borders and ideologies, now stood together as one. The task of rebuilding was immense, but the human spirit had been forged in the fires of war. Cities that had been reduced to rubble rose from the ashes, their skylines now adorned with gleaming spires that reached towards the heavens. The scars of battle slowly faded, replaced by the bustling energy of a world reborn. Earth's leaders, guided by the wisdom gained through decades of struggle, set about the work of shaping a new future. They reached out to the many worlds that had fought alongside them, forging bonds of friendship and cooperation. Trade routes were established, linking the far-flung corners of the galaxy in a web of mutual prosperity. The Earth Defense Fleet, once a symbol of war, now became an instrument of peace. Its ships, sleek and powerful, patrolled the spaceways, ensuring the safety and security of all who traveled among the stars. The men and women who crewed these vessels were no longer just soldiers, but diplomats and explorers, seeking out new worlds and new civilizations. As Earth's influence grew, so too did its responsibility. The planet found itself at the forefront of a new galactic order, one built on the principles of freedom, justice, and equality. Earth's leaders worked tirelessly to promote these values, using their newfound authority to mediate disputes and bring stability to a galaxy long plagued by conflict. But even as Earth basked in the glow of its triumphs, new challenges began to emerge. The fall of the Galactic Empire had left a power vacuum, and there were those who sought to fill it with their own brand of tyranny. Rogue factions, driven by greed and ambition, threatened the fragile peace that had been so hard-won. Earth's leaders knew that they could not stand idly by while the seeds of a new war were sown. They rallied their allies, calling upon the bonds of friendship and shared purpose that had been forged in the heat of battle. Together, they stood firm against those who would seek to destabilize the galaxy, using every tool at their disposal to maintain the peace. As the years turned into decades, Earth's role in the galaxy continued to evolve. The planet became a hub of scientific and cultural exchange, attracting the brightest minds from across the stars. Its universities and research centers were renowned throughout the galaxy, incubators of innovation and discovery. The people of Earth, once confined to a single world, now found themselves at home among the stars. They ventured forth in great ships, exploring the vast expanse of the galaxy and forging new connections with the many species they encountered. The old divisions of race and nationality had long since faded away, replaced by a shared sense of purpose and identity. And yet, even as Earth and its allies enjoyed a new era of peace and prosperity, they knew that the price of freedom was eternal vigilance. The scars of the Great War had taught them that the galaxy was a dangerous place, filled with those who would seek to impose their will upon others. But the people of Earth had learned the lessons of their past, and they stood ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring. They had fought for their freedom, and they would never again take it for granted. They had become the guardians of a new galactic order, the protectors of the weak and the defenders of the just. As the Earth Defense Fleet patrolled the spaceways, its ships bearing the scars of countless battles, the people of Earth looked to the stars with a sense of pride and purpose. They had come so far, and they knew that there was still so much more to discover. The future was theirs to shape, and they would do so with the same courage and determination that had carried them through the darkest of times. For Earth, the Great War had been a crucible, a trial by fire that had forged them into something greater than they had ever been before. They had emerged from the ashes of conflict as a beacon of hope, a shining example of what could be achieved when people stood together in the face of adversity. And as they looked to the stars, they knew that their greatest adventures were still to come. The story continues in the aftermath of the Great War, with Earth emerging as a beacon of hope and strength, leading the charge in rebuilding and shaping a new galactic order based on unity, peace, and cooperation. Earth's role evolves as it becomes the center of diplomacy, trade, scientific, and cultural exchange. The Earth Defense Fleet transforms into an instrument of peace, exploration, and security. Humanity ventures out into the stars, old divisions fading away. However, new challenges arise from rogue factions seeking to fill the power vacuum left by the Empire's fall. Earth and its allies stand firm, vigilant in maintaining the hard-won peace. The galaxy remains a dangerous place, requiring eternal vigilance. The scars of war have taught valuable lessons, and Earth stands ready for any future challenges. Its people forever change, united in purpose and identity as they shape the future with courage and determination. The passage paints a picture of a battle-scared but hopeful future, where Earth's unity and resolve have transformed it into a galactic leader. Themes of rebuilding, exploration, the price of freedom, and the importance of standing together resonate throughout, hinting at adventures still to come. The simple yet evocative language brings this vision of the future to life, marking a new chapter in Earth's story. As Earth and its allies settled into their new role as guardians of the galaxy, they found themselves faced with a new and unexpected challenge. A strange signal, unlike anything they had ever encountered before, began to emanate from the far reaches of the galaxy. It was a message, a plea for help from a civilization on the brink of extinction. The Earth Defense Fleet, always ready to answer the call of those in need, dispatched a ship to investigate. The crew, led by a young captain with a reputation for bravery and resourcefulness, set out into the unknown, determined to unravel the mystery of the signal. As they drew closer to the source, they found themselves in a region of space unlike any they had ever seen before. The stars themselves seemed to bend and twist, their light distorted by some unseen force. The ship's instruments, usually so reliable, began to malfunction, leaving the crew to navigate by instinct and intuition alone. And then they saw it, a planet, hanging in the void like a jewel in the darkness. It was a world unlike any they had ever seen before, its surface shimmering with an iridescent glow that seemed to beckon them closer. The signal was coming from here, that much was certain. As the ship descended through the planet's atmosphere, the crew found themselves in a landscape of breathtaking beauty. Towering mountains of crystal rose up from the surface, their peaks shrouded in mist. Rivers of molten silver wound their way through valleys of lush, alien vegetation. And in the distance, a city of gleaming spires and soaring arches shone like a beacon in the darkness. But as they drew closer, the crew began to sense that something was amiss. The city, for all its beauty, seemed empty and lifeless. There were no signs of the civilization that had sent the signal, no indication of what had become of them. The captain, determined to uncover the truth, led a team to the surface. They picked their way through the silent streets, their footsteps echoing in the eerie stillness. And then they found them, the inhabitants of the city, frozen in place like statues. Their faces were contorted in expressions of terror and pain, their bodies twisted and deformed, as if subjected to some unspeakable torment. And in the center of the city, they found the source of the signal, a great machine, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. It was ancient, far older than any technology the crew had ever encountered before. And it was alive, its surface writhing with a sickening organic intelligence. The captain, realizing the danger they were in, ordered an immediate retreat. But it was too late. The machine, sensing their presence, began to lash out with tendrils of energy, ensnaring the crew and dragging them towards its pulsing heart. The crew fought with all their might, but the machine was too strong. One by one, they were consumed by its ravenous hunger, their bodies and minds absorbed into its twisted consciousness. Only the captain, through sheer force of will, managed to break free. They stumbled back to the ship, their mind reeling from the horrors they had witnessed. And as they fled the planet, they knew that they had to warn Earth of the danger that lurked in the depths of the galaxy. But even as they raced back towards home, they could feel the machine's influence spreading. It was a cancer, a corruption that threatened to consume everything in its path. And the captain knew that Earth, for all its strength and unity, might not be enough to stop it. As the ship hurtled through the void, the captain recorded a message, a desperate plea for help. They spoke of the horrors they had witnessed, of the machine and its insatiable hunger. And they begged the people of Earth to prepare themselves, to steel their resolve for the battle that was to come. For the captain knew that this was only the beginning. The machine, the ancient and alien intelligence that had consumed the planet, was just the first sign of a greater threat that lurked in the shadows of the galaxy. And Earth, the beacon of hope and strength, would once again find itself in the forefront of a war for survival. The people of Earth, watching the captain's message with growing horror, knew that they had no choice. They had to fight, to stand together once again in the face of an enemy unlike any they had ever faced before. For the sake of their world, for the sake of the galaxy, they would rise to meet this new challenge with the same courage and determination that had carried them through the wars of the past. The story takes an unexpected turn as Earth faces a new alien threat. A mysterious signal leads an Earth Defense Fleet ship to a strange planet, where they discover a city of frozen, tortured inhabitants and an ancient, sentient machine with sinister intentions. The machine overpowers the crew, consuming them one by one, with only the brave captain managing to escape. Racing back to Earth, the captain sends a desperate warning of the impending danger, a corrupting force that threatens to consume the entire galaxy. Earth realizes it must once again rise to the challenge, facing an enemy unlike any before. The people of Earth, horrified by the captain's message, steel themselves for the battle to come, knowing they must fight for the survival of their world and the entire galaxy. The passage shifts the tone from the previous chapter's optimism to one of creeping horror and impending doom. The vivid descriptions of the alien landscape, the eerie, lifeless city, and the ancient, hungry machine create a sense of dread. The simple language makes the terrifying events accessible and impactful. The themes of unity and courage in the face of overwhelming odds resurface as Earth is once again called to stand together against a new existential threat. The cliffhanger ending sets up a new phase in Earth's story, a war for survival against a formidable and otherworldly foe. The captain's warning spread like wildfire across Earth and its allied worlds. The news of the ancient, ravenous machine and the threat it posed to the galaxy sent shockwaves through every level of society. Panic and fear gripped the hearts of many, but the leaders of Earth knew that they could not afford to succumb to despair. They gathered together in a great council, representatives from every corner of the planet and beyond. For days, they debated and discussed, seeking a way to confront this new and terrifying enemy. Some advocated for a preemptive strike, a massive assault on the machine's planet before it could spread its corruption further. Others called for a more cautious approach, a defensive strategy that would buy them time to understand the nature of the threat. In the end, it was the words of a young senator that swayed the council. She spoke of the need for unity, for the people of Earth and its allies to stand together as they had during the Great War. She reminded them of the strength that had carried them through the darkest of times, the courage and determination that had forged them into something greater than they had ever been before. Her words struck a chord, and the council rallied behind her. They set in motion a plan, a grand strategy that would test the limits of their resolve and ingenuity. The Earth Defense Fleet, bolstered by the ships and soldiers of a dozen worlds, would lead the charge. They would take the fight to the machine, to the heart of its corrupting influence. But even as the fleet prepared for battle, the machine's influence continued to spread. Strange sightings and eerie phenomena began to plague the outer colonies, whispers of a darkness that lurked in the void. The people of Earth knew that time was running out, that they had to act before the machine's corruption could take hold. The fleet set out, a vast armada of ships and soldiers united in purpose. At its head was a new flagship, a vessel of unparalleled power and sophistication. Its crew, handpicked from the best and brightest of Earth and its allies, were ready to face whatever horrors the machine could unleash. As they approached the machine's planet, they found themselves in a nightmarish landscape. The once shimmering world was now a twisted, pulsing mass of flesh and metal, its surface writhing with the machine's corrupted influence. The fleet fought its way through the planet's defenses, facing monstrosities that defied description. But even as they battled the machine's minions, the fleet's commanders knew that the true test was yet to come. They had to strike at the heart of the machine, to sever its connection to the world it had consumed. And so, a small team of heroes, led by the captain who had first encountered the machine, set out on a desperate mission. They fought their way through the labyrinthine depths of the machine's lair, facing horrors that tested the limits of their sanity. But they pressed on, driven by a sense of duty and a determination to save their galaxy from the machine's insatiable hunger. In the end, it was the captain who struck the final blow. With a cry of defiance, they plunged their weapon into the machine's pulsing heart, sending a shockwave of energy rippling outwards. The machine, its power source destroyed, began to crumble and collapse, its corrupted minions dissolving into nothingness. The fleet, victorious but battered, limped back to Earth, their ships bearing the scars of a battle unlike any they had ever faced before. The people of Earth, watching the skies with bated breath, erupted into cheers as the news of the fleet's triumph spread. But even as they celebrated, they knew that the war was far from over. The machine, though defeated, was just one manifestation of a greater threat that lurked in the depths of the galaxy. Earth and its allies had won a great victory, but they knew that they could not rest on their laurels. They had to be vigilant, to stand ready for whatever challenges the future might bring. For the people of Earth knew that the price of freedom was eternal vigilance, that the fight for survival was a never-ending struggle. But they also knew that they had the strength and the courage to face whatever lay ahead. They had stood together in the face of impossible odds, had forged bonds of friendship and unity that would never be broken. And as they looked to the stars, they knew that their destiny was out there, waiting to be claimed. Earth, the beacon of hope and strength, would lead the way, a shining example of what could be achieved when people stood together in the face of the unknown. The story reaches its climax as Earth and its allies face the ancient machine head-on. The captain's warning galvanizes the planet, and after much debate, a grand strategy is formed to confront the corrupting threat. A massive fleet, led by a powerful new flagship and crewed by the best and brightest, sets out to the machine's nightmarish planet. They battle through twisted horrors to reach the heart of the machine's lair. In a desperate final mission, A small team of heroes, led by the original captain, fights their way to the machine's core. With a defiant cry, the captain destroys the machine's power source, causing it to crumble and its corrupted minions to dissolve. The fleet, victorious but battle-scarred, returns to Earth to cheers and celebration. Yet they know the war is not over. The machine was just one part of a greater threat. Earth and its allies must remain vigilant, ready for whatever challenges the future holds. But they have proven their strength, courage, and unity in the face of impossible odds. As they look to the stars, they know their destiny awaits, with Earth, the beacon of hope, leading the way into the unknown. The passage brings the story to a thrilling conclusion while setting the stage for future adventures. The vivid descriptions of the nightmarish planet, the fleet's desperate battle, and the captain's heroic final act create a sense of epic scale and high stakes. Themes of unity, courage, and vigilance in the face of the unknown resonate throughout. The ending strikes a balance between celebration and caution, acknowledging the victory while hinting at greater challenges to come. Earth's role as a leader and beacon of hope is solidified, pointing towards a future of exploration and discovery. In the aftermath of the great battle against the ancient machine, Earth and its allies found themselves in a new era of exploration and discovery. The war had taught them the value of unity and cooperation, and they were determined to carry those lessons forward as they ventured out into the uncharted reaches of the galaxy. The Earth Defense Fleet, now a symbol of hope and protection, took on a new role as the vanguard of this great expedition. Its ships, equipped with the latest technologies and crewed by the most skilled and daring adventurers, set out to explore the vast expanse of the cosmos. They discovered wonders beyond their wildest dreams, planets of breathtaking beauty, alien civilizations with technology and wisdom far beyond their own, and secrets that had lain hidden for eons. But they also faced dangers and challenges that tested the limits of their courage and ingenuity. On one such mission, a fleet of ships found themselves stranded on a remote planet, their engines damaged beyond repair by a freak cosmic storm. The crew, led by a young captain with a thirst for adventure, were forced to confront the harsh realities of survival on an alien world. For months, they struggled against the planet's unforgiving environment, forging alliances with the native species and learning to live off the land. They faced predators of unimaginable ferocity, braved the fury of the elements, and fought against the creeping despair that threatened to overwhelm them. But through it all, they'd never lost sight of their mission: to explore, to discover, and to bring the light of knowledge to the darkest corners of the galaxy. And when they finally managed to repair their ships and return to Earth, they'd brought with them a wealth of new experiences and insights that would forever change the course of human history. As the years passed, Earth and its allies continued to push the boundaries of what was possible. They established colonies on distant worlds, forged new alliances with alien civilizations, and unlocked the secrets of the universe one by one. But even as they reveled in their triumphs, they knew that the greatest challenges were still to come. For the galaxy was a vast and mysterious place, filled with wonders and terrors beyond their wildest imaginings. And so, the people of Earth steeled themselves for the adventures that lay ahead. They knew that they would face hardships and setbacks, that they would be tested in ways they could never have imagined. But they also knew that they had the strength and the courage to overcome any obstacle, to face any challenge head-on. For they were the inheritors of a great legacy, the descendants of those who had fought and sacrificed to build a better world. And as they looked to the stars, they knew that their destiny was to carry that legacy forward, to bring the light of hope and progress to every corner of the galaxy. They were explorers and adventurers, scientists and scholars, dreamers and visionaries. And they were united by a common purpose, a shared vision of a future where all beings could live in peace and harmony, where the wonders of the universe were open to all. And so, as the ships of the Earth Defense Fleet set out once more into the unknown, the people of Earth looked to the future with hope and excitement. They knew that there would be challenges and dangers, that the road ahead would be long and difficult. But they also knew that they had the strength and the determination to see it through, to build a better future for themselves and for all the beings of the galaxy. For they were the people of Earth, and they would never stop exploring, never stop dreaming, never stop reaching for the stars. As the sun set on another day, the people of Earth looked up at the night sky with wonder and awe. They saw the stars, the planets, and the distant galaxies, and they knew that their journey was just beginning. For the universe was vast and infinite, and there were endless wonders waiting to be discovered. And as they looked to the future, they knew that they would face it together, united by the bonds of friendship and love that had carried them through the darkest of times. They were the people of Earth, and they would never stop fighting for the future they believed in, never stop striving for a better tomorrow. The story concludes with a new era of exploration and discovery for Earth and its allies. The war has taught them the value of unity and cooperation, and the Earth Defense Fleet takes on a new role as the vanguard of this great expedition. They discover wonders and face dangers in equal measure, testing the limits of their courage and ingenuity. One mission sees a fleet stranded on an alien planet, struggling to survive and repair their ships. Through hardship, they learn valuable lessons and return with new insights. As years pass, Earth's reach expands. Colonies on distant worlds, alliances with alien civilizations, and the secrets of the universe unlocked one by one. But they know the greatest challenges lie ahead in the vast and mysterious galaxy. The people of Earth, inheritors of a great legacy, steel themselves for the adventures to come. United by a common purpose and vision of a peaceful, harmonious future, they face the unknown with hope and determination. Explorers, adventurers, scientists, and dreamers, they are the people of Earth, ever reaching for the stars. As they look to the night sky, they know their journey is just beginning, the universe holding endless wonders waiting to be discovered. Together, bound by friendship and love, they will face whatever the future holds, never stopping in their fight for a better tomorrow. The passage strikes a hopeful and optimistic tone, focusing on themes of unity, exploration, and the indomitable human spirit. Earth's people are characterized as intrepid adventurers and visionaries, driven by a shared purpose and the bonds of friendship. The challenges they face are framed as opportunities for growth and discovery, each hardship a stepping stone to a brighter future. The vastness of the universe and the endless possibilities it holds are a source of wonder and motivation. The ending is left open, hinting at countless more adventures to come. Earth's role is cemented as a beacon of hope and progress, its people forever striving towards a better tomorrow. The story concludes on a note of unity and determination, a fitting end to an epic tale of humanity's rise to the stars.